So, let's just jump right into it. I wonder if I'll be able to make anything soon. I mean, I can make the mithril bowgun, but a certain someone has told me not to. Other than that, I probably won't be able to make anything else. The poison bunker, maybe. Only for the C++ weapon. But I like Gold Saber. It works very well. Started my last save in Donna Donna like an hour ago or so. But let's go after Namtar, you know. You get 2 white barrel as a reward. That's all that matters. We don't care about Namtar here. We only care about the white barrel. This is a pretty short one. Alright. If that's how it is. Just do the same thing I've always done. A lot of AoE. Oh. Don't miss. Okay. I wish I could stream I wish you could stream Donna Donna. No. That'd also probably be a Patreon exclusive game. 18 plus stream site. No, Patreon. I've set up a Patreon. I haven't uploaded anything to it yet. What? 500? Link? I will link when I upload the shower scene. I can't. But at the moment, I will not. Because I have not uploaded it. I haven't rendered it either. I didn't mean to do Iron Dagger. Okay, it didn't matter. Let me try finding it. I mean... I don't know how easy or hard it would be for you to find it because... Well... Let's just say the Patreon is not called and064. Okay. I don't even know if that was a miss or not. Don't you hate it when you miss when you can't burst cycle the trash mobs? Also, a gripe I have with some of the designs with you know, when you look at some of these gems. Oh well, some of these materials, you're like, damn, that looks pretty good. That must, without looking at the ranks, like you're like, that looks pretty good. That must be like a B or A rank or thing, and like, damn, look at that shit. That's pretty That's a pretty good looking as well. What is it called? It's just Ando. That's probably B rank as well. And so is this looks like B or A rank. And then you look at Rhyolite and you're like, damn, that looks like an E, that looks like E rank shit. Nope. It baffles me that they decided to make Rhyolite this shit looking thing. B tier. And I mean, like, you know, this gem line here with the carnelian to the tourmaline, oh well, to the ruby line, you know, it's similar, but you know, carnelian looks, oh well, white beryl looks better than carnelian, and heliodor looks better than white beryl, and you know, you go up the line and like you can understand where they're going, because ruby will obviously ruby looks better than tourmaline, looks better than heliodor, looks better than white beryl. And it's the same with ferrocloth to golden pelt to rain cloth to pelt. And then mithril, gold, silver, copper. That's, you know, that's obviously. Oh yeah, I guess you would go to rocks. It's very that's very confusing too, with some of these with some of these recipes, you know. Look at this shit. Alright, so, let's say mithril ore, alright? You need 4 gold ore, alright. And you want, and for 4 gold, for a gold ore, you need 4 silver ore, alright. And then to get 1 silver ore, you need 4 copper. Oh, okay. And then you need 4 rocks to make a copper. Alright, how many, what do I need to make rocks? A silver ore. You need to make one silver ore makes 1 rock. 4 silver ore makes 4 rocks, which turns into 1 copper ore. So if you want to make copper ore from rocks to make silver ore, you'll need 16 silver ore to make 16 rocks, to turn into 4 copper ore to make 1 silver ore. I don't know why what the conversion rate is, but very confusing. Same with this. Actually, what is ragged cloth used for? I've never found a use for it. I mean, I brought this up before with the branch of longevity in the old log. Like, you need 4 old logs to make a branch of longevity, but you need 4 branches of longevity to make an old log. Like, huh? And I mean, the game doesn't expect you to craft these things. Like, you don't. The game doesn't expect you to craft silver ore into rocks, or branches of longevity into old logs, or white herbs into weed. Oh well. Never mind. Oh, especially coarse sand from copper ore, but still. If they don't expect you to make these, why do they have a recipe in the first place, you know? Like, these shits don't have recipes, but also, it doesn't really make sense that Namu's thread would have a recipe, right? Same with this. Why does coarse sand, or old logs, or ragged cloth, or rocks have a recipe? Especially one as expensive as this. But yeah, that's my rant over. Anyway, back to the game. I don't know why I brought it up. Oh, thanks for the Heliodor. I think that's all of them. Yeah. Alright. I should have saved. Anyway. I'll save it here. Sharp sword-like mountain ranges stood in front of their path. The immense amount of dust originated from the crater surrounding the mountains. It was like the belly button of the valley that served as a path for the wind was turning into the source of the dust. Oh. Must be an instant temple made by the destroyer. From the stone temple, nearly born ash demons sprung out from the thick dust. What is the description? What? Oh. To your Patreon. Hang on. What is my description? Let me bring it up. Arrogate Let's Plays. Yeah, that's what it is. But you know, you should be able to tell who is me. You should look up ANDO. I don't think it's there. From the stone temple, newly born ash demons sprang out from the thick dust. The irregular cluster of gas was a sinister vague vanguard that was used to spreading the deathly winds further out. Like creating. No. I don't think it's there. Wait. The irregular cluster of gas was a sinister vanguard that was used to spreading the deathly winds further out. Okay. I think I understand why it sounds so weird. Used to spread the deathly winds further out. Shin and the others laid low as they observed the movements. The group gradually slid back and got up. Look, Dexter, let's just say you're not gonna find it. Alright? I'll link it when I post the scene. I just haven't done it yet, so... We need to nullify Namtar. I guess I'd need to use the Philosopher's Stone. The interaction with Cinderella crossed his mind. Please? Why? There's nothing there. The seed planted as they grew. The more he used his powers. But if he didn't use the Philosopher's Stone, the path would be opened. I'm fine. But if there's any concern... Shin looked down and closed his eyes. The destroyer, looking to spread oblivion, was likely proceeding with his plans cautiously. The monsters probably had preparations to... That monster probably had preparations to go up against them. I wonder if the skill was effectively... The skills were to effectively fight Agrippa. I wonder if... Okay. I wonder if I have skills. I wonder if I have the skills to effectively fight Agrippa. If I have to defeat Namtar to proceed with our plan, I...
弱気は禁物ですよ。ここまで来た私たちの力を信じましょう。
Miss Sonia.
当たって砕けろというわけではありませんが、私たちが失敗しても救援が控えています。私たちは私たちの目的のために戦いましょう。ソニア先生の言う通りオッシン、ナムタルを捕まえればオーズやアスタルテのことがわかるかもしれないのでしょ。賢者の石、使命、家臣浄化のこと、私たちは何も進んでいないように見えても、きっと少しずつ真実に近づいているの。だから立ち止まらないで。姉弟子のこと、もっと頼りにしてくれていいんだからね。
Thanks, guys. His friends were around to encourage him. The warmth in his heart turned into a heated determination and made Shin feel tense. Never mind.
さあ、突入前に最後の準備をしましょう。いざという時困らないよう、もう一度エーテルギアの点検を。分かったのだわ。
Even at times like this, Miss Sonia's soft voice was reassuring. They all began inspecting their equipment.
やっぱりすごいね、ソニア先生は。こんな時でも私たちの緊張とか焦りをほぐそうとしてくれて。
Arya. Shit. While Shin was adjusting his gauntlet, Arya approached him. The others worked in a slightly distant area.
ソニア先生、責任感が強くて、いつも私たちのことを思ってくれてる。先生がいるから、私たちここまで来れたと思う。ちょっと頼りなく見える時もあるけどね。
Yeah, that's true. Miss Sonia was the one keeping the team's balance. It was hard to tell unless you looked carefully, but thanks to her, Shin and the others could move around freely.
ソニア先生とシン、エンリちゃん、セレスに私。いいチームだよね。ハルモニア派は。
Yeah, I love the Harmonia College with its 4 girls and 1 guy. I think so too. That's why we can't lose to the Destroyer's schemes.
うん。みんなと一緒だといつも勇気が湧いてくるもの。お腹の底から熱くなってやってやろうって気持ち。
The only other people that I've had on my team, one turns into a girl and the other's dead. Yeah. If we all get together and do our best, we won't lose against anyone. He finished inspecting his gauntlet. Finally, he checked the purity of the liquid metal before gripping his fists. When he looked around, Ari and the others were all done preparing. Let's start our plan. Stop the Destroyer's ceremony and steal Namtar. Shin stepped forth toward the stone temple where the black wind blew violently. The stone circle in the center of the temple was peacefully protected from the crazed wind. Yeah, you don't want the wind like kicking up a storm on the circle and potentially like damaging it. The only sound was the wailing of the wind. The inside of the barrier was like being in an eye of a storm, filled with invisible power. It's usually what an eye of a storm is. The eye of the storm is usually, you know, the calmest part of the storm. That's why it's called the eye. And they were in the absolute center. That's usually where the eye of the storm is. Huh? Nemta, Agrippa. It's like saying that you're in the center of an earthquake after calling it the epicenter. Like, yeah, that's what you call it. Damn it. Stop looking for it. You're probably not gonna find it. Definitely not gonna find it by just searching for it, because Patreon's search function is not that good. As if he was getting rid of his fears, Shin shouted the names out loud. I wish it gave me more results. Yeah. Tiamat understood our situation and gave us an opportunity. That is why we are here to stop your plans. Oh, then I guess Marduk and Apsu are fake gods as well, huh? Oh, and Kyubey. The only one we haven't teamed up with is Shamash, and I guess Astarte as well. But you know, we've got Henry for that.
破壊者アグリッパ、あなたに逃げ場はありません。ここにはティアマトや王国の援軍も向かっています。おとなしく降伏してください。
We get Namtar soon as well. Oh well. I don't know how soon. We'll get Namtar eventually. I won't let you. Right when Agrippa raised his skull-shaped ether gear, Shin fired his needle from his gauntlet. I won't be fooled a third time! But that needle let out a sharp sound and was deflected. Wow. Who would have guessed? Oh, it was Namtar who did that with a black spear. I thought it was the skull having like a barrier around it. Fuck you, Namtar. I'm gonna rate your owner hole a 1 star. I don't know. This is I fucking hate these types of guys, these types of people in anime. And I mean, to be fair, they're meant to be hated so much. It reminds me of Betelgeuse in like ReZero, but like these fuckers always are like they're basically like, I am invincible and no one can touch me, when literally the only reason we haven't been able to stop him is because of the shit around him. Like, the heinous gods stopped us from killing him. Tiamat stopped us from killing him. Namtar stopped us from killing him. It's never been him who stopped us. It's always been shit that's other shit. Fuck you! The dust poured out like gas from Agrippa's skull. The dust consumed Namtar's body as she stood next to him. It was gradually sucked into her life core on her chest, the other Philosopher's Stone. Oh, that's like the same thing that happens to Shin if he consumes a lot of dust. Inverted colors. But what? Her body pulsated loudly just once. She arched her back, as malicious red light beamed out of her eyes. She's deep fried now.
このダスト量、カイマ一体のキャパシティをはるかに超えてる。すごいプレッシャー。もしかしたらシンが賢者の石を使った時よりも。カイマであるナムタルは汚れという副作用は関係がないのでしょう。だから賢者の石の強化を無限に使うことができる。
Perhaps the corruption helped bring out one's inner violence. Namta also emitted beastly hisses. Shin and the others quickly got ready for battle. First, let's calm Namta down. I'll find an opportunity. I'll find an opening to drain out the dust using my Philosopher's Stone. But I have to do it. He's consumed much more. This ain't his first rodeo. Shin placed his hand on his chest and released the limiter on his Philosopher's Stone. At the same time, Namta let out a cry and let out an attack. Alright, are we killing Namta? I mean... Oh! We're fighting both of them! And oh! That's a pleasant surprise. Ow. You know, if a grip is gonna be like that, I feel like prevention it would be a very good thing. Well, it's useless now because I've already used it. Also, one of the consequences of having a short match of a short map before the boss fight, I have no SP. I forgot about that. You know, I usually have like I'm usually overloaded with SP before the boss fight, but this is the one instance where that is an impossibility. Ah. Hey, let me see this. Right. Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, they're both weak to light. And strong to dark and earth for some weird reason. Alright, pulse edge. Yes. Guardian oath. Rain shoot. No. Heal spot. Fire tempest. Loser. Huh? What? I didn't hear. Alright, you got the light attack. And now you're combusting. Oh, what? That was just that was just passive damage. I forgot what it was called. Fucking whatever. Full Moon Slaughter? I'll do Armor Divide first. And then with Sonya, let's just... Yeah, Photon Bullet. It's a similar thing with... Actually, Gravity Press is useless as well because they're both strong against Earth. Or... Holy damage, Jesus. Ow. Oh, you missed, loser. Alright, Namtar's easy to deal with. Agrippa I need Swordbreaker on. While TrickNet is useless because they're both strong to dark, the poison might be useful. Unless I'm unable to do it because of their immunity, because they have an immunity to it. Maybe. I'll try TrickNet again. Full Moon Slaughter. And just attack. Attack. Alright, thank you, Prevention. Okay, holy... I need to heal. Hopefully the barrier protects her enough. Let's see. There's no debuffs, so... High Heal Stitch. Armor Divide. Just attack, I guess. Alright. Don't die, Sonya. Okay, that'll be fine. Alright, now he's combusting. Alright. Let me see here. Right. Wind Prison. Yeah, Wind Prison is pretty effective against Namtar. Let's see. Let's do this. And let's High Heal Stitch again. Armor Divide again. Let's just attack and wait for Wind Prison, I guess. Yeah. There shouldn't be any immediate issues. That might be a problem. I should have cleansed. So, let's hope nothing bad happens when I do this. I'm very conservative when it comes to Sonya's mana, as you can tell. Because, you know, she's got some very expensive skills. Alright. Fuck. A bit late for that one. But a Namtar's dead. Which means I should be able to sword break. That's the thing. I will need to first aid Sonya. And Millionaire shoot. Yeah. The physical and... Actually, no. Let's not use... Sonya's special. Use Heal Spot and use Rocket Smash. Right? Surely. Uh-oh. Okay. It was a good idea for me to use Heal Spot. Maybe I should use Sword Break. Sword Breaker doesn't work on Agrippa because he uses magic attacks. So let's Amalgam Edge. Beat String. Win Prison, I guess. That's damage. But yeah, I shouldn't have any problems anymore. He'll die from the he'll die from the fucking the pursuit magic. And then normal attack. Alright, as long as none of them died, I can kill him off. How much XP do I get? That's an alright amount, I guess. Namtar's body was flung into the air and bounced off the ground. Before she can get up, Enri quickly extended her thread and tangled it around her limbs. Got it. Shin released his blade and extended his hand toward Namtar. Namtar's Philosopher's Stone was embedded in her chest. Shin raised his hand to the stone and sucked in the dust and activated his skill. The next moment, it felt like his blood flowed backward and boiled over. I don't know what... I don't know how you can make that sound. I'm fine. I'm going to nullify Namtar like this. The Philosopher's Stone was still able to emit more power. The issue was whether Shin's body can keep up with it. Isn't that what he does? Isn't that the dilemma he faces every time? Cinderella's seed. Ironic how she's the one who that helped my body tolerate the corruption. I know it's not good to rely on it too much, but just for now. Whoa! Shin roared as he proceeded to tear away the dust that surrounded Namtar. And no can do it, Toots. What was the point in fighting you if we didn't do anything in the cutscene? I look at this shit. In the gameplay, he was able to actually fight us, but in the cutscene, the only thing he's doing is creating more dust, like Bruh. You are useless outside of the things you make. If it wasn't for the skull in your hand, you would be a normal human. I mean... What? Whoopsie. Agrippa ducked and dodged the arrow fired by Miss Sonia. Instantly, he deploys a spell circle before the skull. With Agrippa's shout, the skull's jaw opened as the dust gushes out like gas. But the dust is coming out of his eyes. And the mouth is always open. There's an eye in it. What? I don't think the CG team and the writing team were cooperating with this one. But it wasn't normal dust. As if it had a will of its own, it soared through the air and showed signs of it targeting Sonia and the others. Shin and Henry have Namtar pinned down. Like, why was Sonia the only one trying to target him? Like, where's Celeste and Arya, huh? Oh, there you are. Took you long enough. Celeste's rapier changed shape and turned into a snake-like whip. Twisting her body, she attempted to brush away the gassy ash demons with her whip. However, there's always a but. And you know I love me my butts, but not in this situation. Celeste shouted in despair. The ash demons simply scattered like gas before it clustered back up and regenerated itself. Arya, what are you doing? You're not pinning down. You're not helping us with Namtar. So, like, why aren't you attacking him? You literally have wind magic, right? Wind prison, or whatever. That's the only wind magic she has. Guys! Shin peered from his shoulder as he shouted. Yeah. So what's Arya doing? But... Miss Sonia aimed her crossbow and targeted the ash demons in the air, casting a spell with loaded crystal. She waited for the bright activation moment. The arrow turned into a ray of light and pierced the ash demons. What the fuck? The arrows containing a special spell deactivated the dust and were effective against the ash demons. The ominous shadow fizzled out after a small explosion. They just fucking combusted. That's Arya's magic. I don't remember Photon Bullet ever doing that. Agrippa raised the skull once again. The gassy dust continued to flow out like a fountain as ash demons multiplied. Arya! Do something! Miss Sonia turned pale at the numerous amount. Bro, Sonia's fucking carrying. Miss Sonia fought bravely against the cluster of ash demons. Without stopping, she repeatedly loaded and fired her crossbow, demolishing the gassy ash demons after a few at a time. However, Miss Sonia stood in awe as she shot out all the crystals she had on hand. Another ash demon swarmed around her and tried to attack her mercilessly. The ash demon flashed its claws and fangs. The next moment, Miss Sonia closed her eyes shut. A crimson beam of light flashed as it struck the ash demon, ready to slash Sonia at any moment. The dust bubbled and evaporated. The rays of light flashed in intervals as they annihilated every ash demon that was closing in on Sonia. Holy shit. Sasha wasn't even here and she did more than Arya could. Holy shit. She just arrives and she does more than Arya. And yes, I am basing it off of the CGs. We haven't seen Arya's CG yet, which means she hasn't done anything. That... I guess you can address her as that. The major lowered her arm, that was still smoking, and smiled, satisfied.
ドールの最先端技術を用いた内臓火器だ。火球の海馬ごとき、物の数ではないのだよ。
Okay, like... How long have we been fighting these two? Like, but we were like... They were at the bottom of the mountain, right? When we started fighting. And now they're already up here. Yeah, I'm shocked as well. From behind, Major Alexandra, Professor Johann, also stepped into the barrier set by the destroyer. At the same time, they heard something crumble from afar.
ダストを広げるための要石を一つ砕いておいた。くだらぬ儀式を成功させるわけにはいかないのでね。
なんじゃと？外はダストの嵐のはずじゃ。石の配置を見破るどころか、容易にはたどり着けぬはず。
I guess Agrippa didn't realize that Johann has dolls that are immune to dust.
貴様の浅はかな工夫などお見通しなのだよ。セカンドモデルのちょうどいい実践テストになったというところか。
Literally. Huh? Huh? The fuck is that? Johann turned to look at a single doll, and a single doll entered from the swirling barrier of dust. The specially equipped doll with a cloak caught Shin's attention. What? A new type? You didn't know?
一星の口を聞くようになりよって。
破壊者などにそのようなことを言われる筋合いは。
Agrippa's skull exhaled more dust. Why does his ether gear have like an infinite amount of dust producing from its eyes? Well, the text said mouth, but the CG said otherwise. While we always run out of the things. I know what they're called. I forgot what they were called. The dolls near Professor Johann reflexively fired their guns, but the bullets all were consumed into the cloud of black smoke. No, don't tell me this is how he escapes.
少佐、破壊者は逃亡を図るつもりだ。君から見て10時の方向、追跡したまえ。
Johann puts his hand on his monocle and controlled it while sending instructions to Major Alexandra.
承知。ヒートマグナム。
Don't mind me. The Major raised her prosthetic arm at the dust and fired repeatedly. The explosive clouds appeared instantly, but the Major grabbed her saber with her right hand and leaped into the crimson fires.
サーシャ、私も。危険です。破壊者がどんな罠を張っているか。それなら余計、サーシャだけに任せるわけにはいきません。行きます。
True, she does have barrier.
セレス、待って。だったら私も行くよ。
Celeste and Arya followed and disappeared into the curtain of smoke.
破壊者の追跡はひとまず彼女たちに任せておけば良さそうだな。今はそれより。
Meanwhile, Professor Johann turned to face Shin and the others. He glanced at the ash demon Namtar and placed a weak smile.
ご苦労だったな、ハルモニア派の諸君。その人型が今回の異変の元凶だろう。
Wait a minute, Namtar is...
ナムタル。そのカイマの個体名か。かなり危険なカイマだったようだが、それを抑え込むとはさすがだな、シン。
Professor Johann calmly approached them.
その個体のコアは興味深い。破壊者などに利用されるより、こちらで回収しておかねばな。
Johann must have sent a command to his on his monocle. With a sharp mechanical sound, the so-called new type of doll moved. Hang on. We took care of Namtar, which means she's Harmonia College property.
待って。ナムタルはシンの妹かもしれないの。
妹？
Professor Johann once again examined Namtar before turning to Shin with a look of confusion. You know what? Me
君は
too.
今そのカイマのダストを自らの肉体に吸収している。その力は我々錬金術師にとって未知のものだ。そしておそらくそこのカイマも君と同じ力を有している。
Not to you.
一体どういうことなのか説明をしてほしいものだ。
Stop talking. That's... Shin hesitated from speaking. The Philosopher's Stone was kept secret aside from Chancellor Faust and the members of the Harmonia College. The fact that Namtar possessed the same power became the reason for suspicion against Shin.
とにかくそのカイマは透滅させてもらおう。邪魔するなら君は破壊者と同類ということになる。
Bro, literally how? I haven't spread dust like the Destroyer can. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
何を言ってるんですか。シン君が破壊者と同類だなんて。
Yeah, I haven't chosen the Chaos route, so I can't be the same as the Destroyer.
君にはわかるはずだ。 ダストを糧にする力の危険が。天津さえそれでカイマをかばおうな。
違います。これには深い理由があって。
事情なら後で聞こう。とにかく今は。
Professor Johann placed his finger on his monocle. The new type begins to move. Stop. Lay your hands off of Anna. Off. There's no of. Shin unconsciously mentioned his sister's name. The new type moves briskly as it charged at Namtar, who was sealed with the thread. However, the blade that fired from Shin's gauntlet stopped its movement.
邪魔をするのか。
Please listen to me. This girl is not a regular ash demon. This is not a good way of convincing him. You could literally, you can just bring up the same reason why why they had to release Anzu and the other one. I forgot his name. You know, the ancient heinous gods or whatever.
だから危険だと言っている。邪魔をするようなら君にもおとなしくしてもらおうか。
You blockhead. Accepting Professor Johann's command, the new type doll moved. Its natural movements made it hard to believe it was a doll. It drew close to Shin and prepared to fight. Movements aren't the same as the previous dolls. Yeah, that's why it's a Mark II. Shin instinctively knew they were in danger. Quickly, he switched his gauntlet to firing mode and shot needle bullets near the doll's feet. At that moment, he got behind it and formed another blade. Gah! Suddenly, Shin's body was blasted away into the back. He saw sparks fly with the strong impact. The doll raised its leg and rammed a mighty kick into at him. It was as if the doll read Shin's movement. The blade he was forming was crushed by the doll's sharp heel as the tip dug into Shin's shoulder.
Shin!
What agility! I did it. And did it realize the vulnerability of the liquid metal when it was forming? The doll pointed the muzzle on its right arm. The gun fired energy-type bullets towards Shin. What? Shin quickly hid behind the a stone pillar nearby. It apparently wasn't enough to kill Shin. Without firing further shots, the doll turned toward Namtar. There was a roar of gunfire as numerous bullets rammed into Namtar. Ooh-ah! Shin yelled out loud as he darted out. You're alive?
大した生命力。いや、これは金属繊維の守りか。
Professor Johann calmly analyzed the situation. The only reason why Namtar was alive after taking down on a shower of bullets was thanks to the thread binding her. The thread was connected to Enri's ether gear. The twin claws. She quickly fiddled with the spell and made the thread into a bulletproof vest to protect her body.
でも私の糸は衝撃まで殺せないのだわ。
With a painful expression, Namtar let out a weak cry. Under the metallic thread, her body must have taken on a great amount of damage. Also, the dust to regenerate her body is being drained away. Even without the binding, it must be difficult for her to stand back up.
悪あがきはやめたまえ。そのコアは抜き出し、研究に活用させてもらう。
The doll began marching toward Namtar. To completely put an end to her, it switched to a blade for execution. No, stop!
させないの。
Trying to protect Namtar, Shin and Enri leapt toward the doll. The doll read the pincer attack by the two. First, the doll used its natural movement to dodge the threads from Enri, then jabbed her spleen using its arm with the gun. Enri squirmed as she rolled. Enri! Damn it! Shin's attack from the doll's blind spot wouldn't reach it either. Without even turning to Shin, it twisted its arm just to repel the blade. Soon after, the doll fired at Shin. The doll fired as Shin felt the pain strike his abdomen. Gah.
安心したまえ。出力は抑えてあるから死にはしない。新潟が本気なら、今頃君やジューマの体には風穴が開いているがね。
No, Anna. Shin dropped to his knees as he tried to reach out while crouching, but his body felt numb and would not listen to him. Beyond the hazy vision, the new type was about to swing its sword at Namtar. The way she cringed in pain overlapped with Anna's. Memory of not being able to save her replayed before him in vivid colors. Anna! Well, she is dead. The doll raised its blade as blood splattered all over. Red blood splattered all over the ground, and even on the doll's sensor. It's still the wrong sensor, but sure. Kid swallowed his breath. Apart from his unstable mind, his reasoning was making practical decisions. Ash demons don't shed blood. Red blood belongs to live humans. Therefore, the one the doll cut wasn't Namtar, but Miss Sonia! Miss Sonia spread her arms, defending Namtar. The doll's blade dug deep into her shoulder.
諦めないで。シン。
Covered in blood, Sonia collapsed to her knees, right in front of Shin and the others. And that almost felt like they were watching in slow motion.
嘘。
I'm not doing. I'm. Miss Sonia!
バカな。攻撃モーションに入った道路に割り込むなど。
Even before thinking, his body was moving. Upon getting to his feet, he charged at the doll and raised his blade, which he unconsciously formed. At that moment of impact, a crack ran through the blade and shattered. But it seems like it reached the doll's armor under its cloak.
まさか動けるはずが。
Also, why is he still targeting the doll? His breathing was heavy like a beast, but his body felt hot. The dust he drained out of Namtar was being converted into energy and spread throughout his body. That replaced his paralyzed nervous system and naturally built circuits that move Shin's body. Power brewed from inside as it turned into an aggressive spirit against the new type doll. How dare you do that to Anna and Miss Sonia?
やめたまえ。 それ以上は手加減できなくなるぞ。
Shut up! I'm going to break these dolls! An irresistible urge struck Shin. It almost felt like a sweet narcotic in his brain. As Shin crossed his arms, new blades were formed from both his gauntlet. Right, singular gauntlet though.
どうして
That voice was heard the moment Shin went to attack. She did not emit an actual voice. It was a voice of an innocent young girl that rang in Shin's head. Shin stopped moving in time and turned back to Namtar, who was still lying on the ground. Anna, no. Namtar, is that you? Whose voice was that?
どうしてナムタル助けるの
Are her thoughts being transmitted through the dust? No. Is the Philosopher's Stone resonating? Shin gazed at Namtar. She stared back at Shin's eyes, as if she wanted to say something desperately. That was more than enough to know that the voice that rang in his head was not his imagination.
ナムタルダストを操る男に捕まった。頭の中くるくるして逆らえなくなった。
Yeah, it is kind of your fault. You're being controlled by Agrippa. Yeah, but if she didn't run away from if she didn't run away from you and ended up here, she wouldn't have been controlled by him in the first place. Despite not being her actual voice, it was the first time he'd heard her speak this much. Since their minds were connected, her speech seemed more orderly than before. The more he heard her voice, the more Shin was reminded of his sister's voice.
お前ナムタルのダスト吸った。力は抜けたけど頭の中はすっきりした。アンナ助けたい。お前の心伝わった。ナムタルはナムタル、アンナじゃない。けど敵じゃないの。
It took you long enough. Jesus Christ. It had to take Sonya getting cut by the new type doll for Namtar to realize maybe these guys aren't as bad. Maybe these guys aren't as bad as Agrippa. At that moment, Namtar nodded only to Shin.
賢者の石、この命、一度だけ委ねる。
That was when something sparked deep within his head, like a fruit of knowledge overflowing from its shell. A new spell emerged in Shin's mind. He knew what to do next. Philosopher's Stone circuit point synchronized wavelengths with Namtar's dust output image. The fuck? Shin extended his arm and raised his fist. Through the Philosopher's Stone, in his body, the purified dust turns into a ball of light. Until now, Shin used the power of the Philosopher's Stone to enhance his physical movements and calculation abilities. It was his first time firing that purified energy out of his body. To control and materialize it, to be used as a resource, required a sophisticated spell.
何をしている？エーテルギアを使わずに生身の体でどうやってこんな現象を？
Shut the fuck up. I don't... Shut up. Please stay quiet and just watch and watch just for a little while. It's not for battle. I'm using the Philosopher's Stone to save a life.
賢者の石だと。
I don't know why he just blurted that out. Henry! Shin turned back to Henry. Harmed by the doll earlier, she's still stunned. and still stunned from witnessing Miss Sonia being stabbed, she couldn't help but to gaze at Shin in awe.
暖かい光、ダストを元にしながらここまで純粋な光なんて。
Henry, I'll fire this ball of light toward you. Save Miss Sonia. With this, Henry.
私が？でもどうやって？
Yeah, you're not really explaining much, Shin. Like, come on, man. I'm sure you'll know. Your knowledge isn't lost. You just don't remember. But the opportunity has been given to you. Henry unconsciously touched her cheek. Right before they arrived, that was where Tiamat touched her. Back then, Tiamat told Henry she has a secret potential lying within her.
私は縁と断り、世界を構成するエレメントを紡ぐ英知のオリジン、アスタルテの層の一つ。
So, like, what's the doll doing right now? Henry's expression turned stern. She extended her hand toward the sphere of light, floating above Shin's hand. The tip of her nails dug into the ball. A change began to show on the ball. Numerous cracks ran across the surface and covered the sphere in a flash. No, they were not cracks. As Henry withdrew her nails, they unraveled into sparkling thread. Like a ball of yarn, Henry drew out the thread.
この糸は命をつなぎ、縁を手繰り寄せるためのフェアリーコクーン。手術開始。
Henry turned to Miss Sonia, collapsed in a pool of blood. She wove her thread to close the wound and to quickly stop the blood. The bright white thread turned into a shade of red and served as blood vessels. Her organs were repaired at the same time. She was stabbed in the shoulder. What do you mean organs? What organs were punctured? At the same time, her wounds were sutured. Thank you. Miss Sonia's wounds were clearly fatal, and yet Henry's incredibly fast and precise technique managed to close it up.
処置完了。
After completing the process, Henry wiped the sweat off her forehead. Miss Sonia was pale from the blood loss, but was asleep, breathing quietly. Yaron? How's Miss Sonia? Is she okay?
安静にしていれば命に別状はないはずだわ。でも。
Henry got up as she glanced at Namtar, still laying on the ground.
私にはもう一つやることがあるの。あの子は敵じゃないのだわ。だから助けてあげないと。
Henry combined the thread used to restrain Namtar and the remainder of the glowing yarn ball to wrap her body with the glowing fiber. I was almost like a cocoon. It was gentle, warm, and clear like a mother's womb. What? It was a cradle of alchemy. How do you know all this?
暖かい。初めてこの感じ。眠い。
Please believe us. We won't do anything to harm you. It's not like we've proven time and time again that we don't want to hurt you. And it only took until Sonia sacrificed her life for you to believe us. There was no response from Namtar. After that, Shin did not hear her voice in his mind anymore. It seems like she fell asleep inside the cocoon. Henry used up all the ball of light. All of the ball of light.
ナムテルには眠ってもらって、その間に傷を癒してもらうことにしたの。眉は自分からは破れないようになっているから。
So technically, we managed to seal her. Thank you, Henry. Shin thanked her from the bottom of his heart. Miss Sonia and Namta, Henry managed to weave the threads of life for two. Even with the Philosopher's Stone, this was not something Shin could do alone. He felt grateful for Henry being able to perform his miraculous act. This miraculous act.
あくまでそのカイマを助けようというのか。それが持つ子は、その希少性を知りながら。
Bro, shut the fuck up. We've been telling you this the whole time. Yes, it's exactly how you see it, Professor Johann. I almost said Joran. Now that we have her sealed, she shouldn't be dangerous. The destroyer was has also fled. I think we're done battling here. Yeah, maybe if you focused on the destroyer instead of Namtar, maybe you would have been able to catch him. Dumbass.
どうも私は君たちに欺かれていたようだね。しかし、その手の内は見せてもらった。
Professor Johann placed his hand on his right monocle. He made some sort of command as the new type doll lowered its guard. Shin let out a sigh of relief.
よかろう。ソニア教授の負傷はこちらにも落ち度があった。いいものを見せてもらったことだし、ここは私が引き下がろう。
Oh, so he isn't completely heartless. He knows when to take fault. Just not for everything. Thank you very much. The exhaustion suddenly hit as a sense of fatigue attacked him. Climbing a harsh mountain, fighting Namtar and the Destroyer, even though according to the cutscene they didn't fight the Destroyer, Agrippa, and using the Philosopher's Stone all took a toll on his mind and body.
大丈夫かね。支援装備のドールを呼び寄せよう。破壊者の追跡は我々に任せてくれればいい。
All right. Unable to stand any longer, Shin dropped to his knees. Professor used the transmitter on his monocle to send his troops a signal. He then placed his hand on Shin's shoulder.
賢者の石、興味深いも
の。No.
ぜひとも。
Not in a million years. Professor Johann's eyes were like a snake targeting its prey. Soon after, even with the Major, Celeste, Arya, and the dolls going after the Destroyer, Agrippa managed to get off the mountain and escape. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he be able to escape? Because he has the all-powerful dust skull that can produce infinite dust. With Miss Sonia's wound and everyone's exhaustion, the Harmonia College was in no condition to continue exploring. With the aid of the military, they were heading back to the academy. Among them was the ash demon Namtar sleeping inside the cocoon. The day after returning from the Valley of Roaring Winds, Shin went to check up on Miss Sonia. Thanks to Henry's surgery, Miss Sonia managed to survive, but was still in a state where she had to rest. Aside from the effects of massive blood loss and hypothermia, her shoulder that was slashed by the doll would take some time to heal completely and move again. Excuse me. Excuse us, I mean...
起きていますか、先生。
You'll see why very soon. Why I told you not to craft a weapon. No, I realized. Shin gently opened the doors to Miss Sonia's infirmary. He didn't want to disturb her with the group, so he was alone with Arya. There was a faint response. Shin and Arya walked over to the clean white bed.
すみません、わざわざ来てもらって。起きなくていいですよ。楽にしててください。でも
We're here to see how you're doing. If we made you tired, that doesn't serve the purpose of our visit.
ごめんなさいね。頼りない先生で。
Arya helped her back on the bed, as Miss Sonia placed an apologetic smile on her face. You're not unreliable at all. Thanks to you, we were able to bring back Namtar safely.
そうですよ。思ったより元気そうで安心しました。早く体を治して工房に戻ってきてくださいね。そうですね。でも
Is there something bothering you?
はい。あまり長い間工房の長が不在なのもよくありませんし、どうしたものかと。私の代わりにハルモニア派をまとめてくれる人がいるといいんですが。
Oh, great. Sonya's already behind in levels. She's gonna be even further behind now. Sonya was trying to figure out who can be the person in charge. Since the Harmonia College was so small, there wasn't anyone that can substitute. This would be difficult if there were. This would be different if there were more master alchemists like the Marduk College, but in the Harmonia College's case, there was a risk of them turning dysfunctional. After contemplating for a while, Miss Sonia gazed up at Arya.
アリアさん、しばらくの間、私の代わりをしてもらえないでしょうか。私が？はい、アリアさんが一番適任ですから、お願いできませんか？でも、私なんかよりシンの方が。
No. You were in the Harmonia College before me. Even as an alchemist, you have more experience than me too. Even though you aren't as good in battle, Shin spoke honestly, and not through modesty. He also thought if someone were to be Miss Sonia's substitute, Arya would be suitable. Arya shook her head intensely. She then faced Miss Sonia and held her hand as she spoke.
先生、弱気なこと言わないでください。すぐに良くなって戻ってこれます。それまで私たちずっと待ってますから。アリアさん、そうですね。無理強いはできません。私もちょっと弱気になっていたかもしれません。
While laying down, a faint smile appeared on Miss Sonia's lips. She probably wanted Arya to be the substitute representative. I think she's suited for it. I have work tomorrow. Oh, okay. Have a good night, Dexter. Not having to accept the role of a representative, Arya seemed relieved. Not yet. Sid glanced at her profile with an odd feeling. In the Harmonia College workshop, the buzz of the academy was being brought in. That was a rare humanoid ash demon specimen, Namtar, who continued to sleep in the cocoon. How's it going? Have you noticed anything different? After his visit to see Miss Sonia, Shin headed to the workshop. At the workshop, Henry was keeping an eye on Namtar.
今のところ休眠状態が続いているの。眉の中で体の修復は少しずつ進んでいるけど、生体反応は微弱なままだわ。
I guess that's expected after most of her dust was removed. Shin let out a sigh. Namtar took on a lot of damage during the battle with Shin and the new type doll. Thanks to Enri's cocoon, she managed to stay in a state of a coma, but the lack of dust would make it difficult for her to maintain her body structure.
ナムタルの目を覚ますにはダストを注ぐしかないと思うの。けどそれだとまた暴れ出す恐れがあるわ。最悪ダストで汚染されるかも。ソニア先生が不在の今、危険度の高い実験は許可が下りないと思う。
Looks like we just have to continue observing her. There were plenty of things he wanted to ask Namtar. Shin felt frustrated, being unable to speak to her even though she was red before his eyes.
シン、焦っちゃダメ。ナムタルは逃げたりしないのだわ。
That's right. I guess we'll continue observing Namtar while we proceed on other research and formulas. Shin muttered to himself as he looked at the cocoon lying on the bed. Oh, well, goodbye, Sonia. Now we're stuck with 4 party members. God damn it. I'll do the... wait. Oh, hang on, why does this look weird? Stop for today. I'm gonna do the side story, and then I'll stop. Okay, it feels like there was save here, and time to do. I'm gonna do the side story. Celeste and Shin meet the refugees in the camp. Listening to their problems, they think of what they can do to help. Oh, it's a follow-up. Have a good night, Dexter. Today, Shin was visiting the refugee camp outside the royal capital with Celeste. Many of the refugees lost their homes due to the massive oblivion. Shin shared a similar experience as a child. Therefore, ever since his first visit to the camp, Shin made several trips and became familiar with the refugees. Uh-oh. Oh, why hasn't the alchemist... why isn't it the alchemist Sonny? You're here again. The washing machine you made for us previously is helping us a lot. I'm glad it was working fine. Why is there a difference between lady and household? Why? Okay. Speaking of which, it does make funny sounds lately. Maybe it's acting up somewhere. All right, I'll take a look at I'll take a look later. Really? That'd be helpful. So, Sonny, how are you? And Princess Celestina, getting along? Any progression? Not really. Don't be a wuss. I hope you're not shying away just because she's a princess. It's not like that. then you might as well give it a shot. Don't worry. I'm sure the princess doesn't hate you or anything, Sonny. I know. Right. Unsure how to respond. Shin could only chuckle along. That's not a definite answer. Then do you want us to make an opportunity for you? Hey princess, come over here for a second. This alchemist Sonny just has something he needs to talk to you about. Wait, what do you... To the lady's unnecessary treatment, Shin panicked. Celeste, who was helping with the food distribution, noticed the lady's voice and began approaching them. Oh no.
どうしたのシン？話って。
No, nothing.
なんだか顔が赤いみたいだけど。
The ladies watched with grins plastered on their faces. Me too. He was sure that they, oh my god, that they would start complaining at any moment now. Shin felt a nervousness similar to when he was about to mess up a formula. Oh, thank you for the save. This voice is... Shin recognized the face of the boy who darted toward them like a bullet. Rocker, you're looking well. I hope you're not doing anything bad.
んなことしねえよ。見せたいものがあって兄貴が来るのを待ってたんだ。
Something you wanted to show me?
いいからこっち来いって。
Rocker abruptly grabbed and tugged on his arm. Normally, he would break away from that, but for now, this saved him. Sorry, Celeste. I'm gonna go with him.
わかったわ。早く。こっちだって。
Ow! No need to tug that hard. I'm going. Urged by Rocker, Shin dashed away from the scene. Celeste was left behind with a puzzled expression. Damn it! Rocker had to interrupt at the best moment.
いいところ？でも、あの子も元気になったみたいでよかったですね。
Yes, well, if we can return to the village, it would be best.
兄貴、ほらこれ。
As Rocker brought Shin to the edge of the camp, he proudly presented the insect cage to Shin. Peeking in, Shin rejoiced. The Ariadne giant rhino beetle. It's a full-grown insect.
すごいだろ。
That beetle was something Shin gave Rocker under the condition that he would take good care of it. It was still a larvae back then, but this meant Rocker kept his promise. The Ariadne giant rhino beetle was delicate and complicated to raise. What? It wasn't required. It must have required a lot of dedication. Seeing the full-grown beetle, Shin was happy to see it, as if it were his own achievement. Great job. This is an amazing beetle.
あ、角でっかくて強そうだろ。もう一匹いたら戦わせてみるんだけどな。
What is this, the fucking Oni Kabuto? The next time, should I bring my beetle?
本当か？
It's not as great as... It's not as great as the Ariadne rhino beetle, but I have a great one that's a good match back in my room.
俺だって負けねえぞ。
Rocker looked thrilled and was ready to have a match on the spot. It's been a while since I did insect wrestling. I used to I used to do it a lot with my master.
俺も前は父ちゃんと。
Remembering his tough past, Rocky's expression suddenly turned glum. Sorry, did I make you remember?
別になんでもねえよ。それより兄貴、約束だからな。次は絶対兄貴の兜連れてこいよ。
Yeah, it's a promise. Shin smiled and nodded as he returned the Ariadne giant rhino beetle back into its cage. Hiding with Rocca, he returned to where he was before. He spotted Celeste, conversing with some of the refugees. Shin tilted his head. Unlike the chipper mood from earlier, the mood seemed rather concerning. Something wrong, Celeste? Did something happen?
何かあったというわけではないのだけど。
Celeste turned her troubled expression to the ladies around them. I know it's wrong for me to say this to someone who is working so hard for us. When I think about how much longer we have to live like this, I get all sad. How much longer do we have to live like this? Will we be able to return to our homeland someday? Shin could not respond immediately to their concerns. The contamination of the northern parts of the continent were critical. The appearance of oblivion was also unpredictable. But of course, the Academy alchemists were working day and night combat the dust. Day and night to combat the dust. Whether the environment would be restored in the future was unknown. Shin could not give them false hope. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been so long to us. I'd be punished if I complain. That's right. It's our job to work hard and knock some guts back into the men. Hahaha. The ladies attempted to wipe away the gloomy mood with laughter. But to Shin, their laughter seemed somewhat dry. After leaving the camp, Shin took a walk around the royal capital with Celeste. Her expression was still clouded and seemed bothered by the comment from earlier. I think the people at the camps are becoming more open to being able to worry like that. Until now, all they could think about was to survive, and didn't have time to think about the future. But thanks to your help, they're beginning to feel more at home in the capital. Refugee camps still had their soup kitchens running, but there have been job assignments given to them according to their abilities. When Shin and Celeste visited, only housewives and children like Rocca were around. The men were off at work. So I don't think it's entirely a bad thing. You and the others are doing your best. That's why the refugees can slowly think about the future.
シンの言いたいことはわかるけど。
Celeste still appeared to be unsatisfied.
私は今まで民の暮らしや安全を守ることばかり考えていたわ。それさえ満たせば義務を果たせると思って。でもそうではないのね。シンの言う通り、彼らが前を向こうとしているなら、その前途を明るくするのも私たちのなすべきことなのよ。
I don't think you should think about it too hard. You're too serious at times. This is a good thing, but dealing with the oblivion is not only your responsibility. It is not your. It is not only. I think it was not your only responsibility. We all have to face it together. Oh, it's not only your responsibility, right?
そうね。私だってそこまでうぬぼれているつもりはないわ。でもせめて明日の糧になるような希望を彼らに見せてあげられないかと思って。
Hope, huh? That's pretty hard. That was where their conversation ended. The two continued to walk in silence. Celeste raised her head when they were about to walk past the main street and cross into the street headed toward the academy.
そうだわ。難民たちはみんな昔の暮らしを懐かしがっていた。ねえシンウ、その思い出を蘇らせてあげることはできないかしら。
Revive those memories?
海板を使うのよ。うまくいけば彼らの心を慰め励ますことができるかもしれないわ。
The map. Hold on, Celeste. I'm not understanding what you mean. Shin was not picking up what she was thinking. However, Celeste seemed confident to her of her thoughts and held Shin's arm.
付き合ってくれる？今から学長に会いに行くわ。
Huh? Celeste? Luckily, they were able to meet the Chancellor without waiting long. Shin bowed to the Chancellor, who was fixated on his fixing his collar at his desk. Excuse me, we apologize for interrupting you.
なあ気にするな。何か頼みがあるのだろう。言っておくが、娘の頼みだからと予定を空けたわけではないぞ。
I never asked.
して頼みとは？
はい、実はコスモの海板を使わせてもらいたいのです。
おお、何かの観測か演算に使おうというのかね。
いえ、民のために。
民のため？詳しく理由を聞かせてもらおうか。
To Faust's words, Celeste nodded. Shin also had the same question, so he focused on what she had to say.
というわけで、景色だけでも民に懐かしい故郷を見せてあげたいのです。
なるほどな。心優しい、そなたらしい気遣いだ。
Used the map function to replicate a virtual scenery of their homeland. That was Celeste's idea. Formerly, they projected the academy for a duel using the function on the map of the cosmos. With it, Celeste was trying to comfort those who missed their homeland.
そなたの望み、そして民のためとなるなら叶えてやりたいが、それには難点があるな。オブリビオンで失われた地の風景を我々は知る術を持たない。
それは故郷の記憶を持つ人に話を聞いて。
一人一人と面談し聴取するというのか。それでは膨大な時間がかかるな。いいな。無限の時間をかけたところで、思い出の景色というのは個人によって違うものだ。誰もが納得する風景は作り出せぬ。むしろそれでは似て非なる場所という違和感を際立たせるだけのことではないか。
それは。
The Chancellor's point was right on the dot. Unable to respond, Celeste looked down. Chancellor, so you're saying it's impossible to recreate memories with the map?
海版単体では難しいであろうな。ありし日の記憶を寸分たがわず正確に覚えているものでなければシミュレートはできぬ。
There's no one like that. Shin was disappointed. It was impossible for even an apostle to accurately capture and calculate the past.
いや、私に一つ心当たりがある。相手は人ではなく送信なのだが。
A god? As the Chancellor rose, he pulled out a book from the bookshelf. Flipping through the pages, he pointed to a section.
これだ。送信シャムハト。第一の記憶を司っているエンシェント級の送信。
Oh, it's not Shamash, but Shamhat. Completely different. The memories of the land.
ソシエにおいて万物は流転するもの。しかし変わりゆく事象の記憶を留めておく送信もまたいるのだ。
ではそのシャムハトという送信ならもしかしたら。
The Chancellor nodded firmly to Celeste, who asked enthusiastically,
シャムハトの協力が得られれば失われた景色を海板上に投影することもできるかもしれぬな。
Where is the so-called god named Shamat?
うん。シャムハトは地の献身だ。近年は姿を見せていないが、ガーデンの深部におる。
It's Shamhat. The garden? An unexpected name came up. The garden was an underground labyrinth managed by the Academy. It was close by, and that was also where Shin experienced his first lesson.
ガーデンはもともと海藻が環境を保全するために作ったものと言われておるのだよ。管理しているのはその上層に過ぎない。
So you're saying the god Shamat is also on the floors much lower than the ones the Cagliostro Academy manages?
ガーデンは天然の迷宮だ。そこまで確かめに行った者は数えるほどしかいないがな。
But there are alchemists that met Shamat, right?
何を隠そう。一人はこの私だ。
Chancellor Faust appeared proud.
学長にできたのなら私たちにもガーデンを攻略してシャムハトと会うことができるということですね。
いや、甘く見てもらっては困るぞ。ガーデンの深部は一度迷えば帰ってこれぬ魔窟ゆえな。
でも学長は攻略できたのでしょ。なら私たちだってねえシン。
Right, yeah. Yeah, we've been through the trials of the origins too.
そなたらの実力を疑うわけではないが。
The Chancellor seemed displeased, but Celeste didn't seem to care and turned to Shin.
探索の準備をしましょう。ガーデンの深部でシャムハトとの契約をするために。
Got it. Let's meet up with the others.
待て、セレスよ。行く前に一つだけ言っておくことがある。
何でしょうか。
Just as Celeste was about to leave, she turned around with a look of wonder.
そなたは民のためを思ってこのような試みを考えたのだろう。だがそれが真実そのもののためとなるか、それとも自己満足に過ぎぬのか、今一度己に問うてみることだ。
自己満足。私のやろうとしているのが余計なことだと。
そうは言っておらぬ。しかしそなたが民の喜びと感謝を得ようと思っておるのなら、必ずしも望む結果が得られるとは思わぬことだな。
私は感謝されるために行動しているわけでは。
分かっておるよ、セレス。そなたの真心は尊ぶべきものだ。 しかし、そうだな。この問題については、真の方が本質を見抜いておるかもしれんな。
シンが
Who shifted their gaze to Shin? Shin was surprised at the sudden shift of attention.
シン、あなたは故郷を失った人たちに海岸でその景色を見せることをどう思っているの？
I thought that, that was very much like you, Celeste.
私らしい。
Perhaps the answer did not satisfy her. Celeste appeared disgruntled. Celeste, if it's something you want to do, I'll lend you a hand. I think it's worth, trying to form a contract with Shamhat,
Shin.
and Shamash. But, you know, I don't think we need to come up with an answer regarding the Chancellor's question. I think we should act first.
頼んだぞ、シン。そなたらがガーデンに向かっている間、私は海岸の準備を進めておこう。
The Chancellor's words indicated that he was not necessarily opposed to Celeste's idea. Shin took a bow, and with Celeste, they left the Chancellor's room.
今回の目的は
No, Sonia.
しっかり頑張ろう。
But I think that will be it for today.